JackTheYugiohPlayer here. Today I'm talking about a card called Jinzo. Now this card is a monster card. It is an effect machine type monster. It is 6 stars and it is a dark attribute, and it has 2400 attack and 1500 defense. And many of you may already know this card, but I'm also going to be going into the kind of cards you can use with this, with Jinzo to make the kind of like deck you might want to make or something. So basically what he does is so I'll read it out now. Trap cards and their effects cannot be activated. The effects of all trap cards on the field are negated. So when this guy's on the field, no one on either team can activate traps, and they're also negated. So say if you had something like, let's say Call of the Haunted or some kind of continuous trap card, that effect will be negated because of Jinzo. So it's pretty good, and the cool thing is it only requires 1 tribute as well. So this card is one of the best monsters. He's definitely on my top 5 list, or top 10, whatever it is. Also, there's another art version there, and both look pretty cool. Some of the cards that have been released to support Jinzo are Psychic Shockwave. So basically what this does is, when your opponent activates a trap card, you can discard a spell or trap card, special summon 1 level 6 Dark Machine type monster from your deck. So it's pretty good. I mean, it only says literally activate only when your opponent activates a trap card. So it doesn't say if it's targeting or anything. So I assume that if your opponent actually does activates a trap card, even if it's like Call of the Haunted or something, you can activate this card. So it's really good. So yes, it's a really good card. This only problem, I think it's only secret or rare form, so it's gonna be, unless it looks pretty cheap there. I'm not sure about that. And there's this one called Amplify, and basically what this does is, I'm not going to read its effect out because it's quite simple really. Virtually you equip this to Jinzo, and instead of it negating both players' trap cards and everything and stopping them from playing, it makes you so you can play trap cards and stuff, but your opponent can't. So basically it allows you to play trap cards and activate them and they're not negated, but yet your opponents are still negated and they can't play them. So virtually that's basically what that does. And it's quite useful as well if you're playing a Jinzo deck. Now I'm going to probably go over this guy here, and I'll show you that guy. So virtually Jinzo Returner is kind of, he's not bad. He's not the most powerful monster, as you can probably see. But this card can attack your opponent directly, and when this card is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 Jinzo from your graveyard, but destroy it during the end phase. So basically, there was a kind of loop before where you could use Future Fusion to summon out, saying Cyber End Dragon or some kind of really powerful machine monster, by sending 3 Jinzos to the grave, and 3 of those, which means you would summon all your Jinzos out and everything. So it's a really good little thing, but because that's banned, now it's not so good, but you can still use it from some other cards to make it decent anyway. So you can still use this effect in this card quite well. And then his Jinzo Lord, basically, so you send 1 face-up Jinzo monster you control to the graveyard. It's basically the same effect. He's got a slightly better attack, only I think 200 points different, and 100 points better defense. And instead, once per turn, you can destroy all face-up trap cards and inflict 300 damage to your opponent for each card destroyed by this effect. So to be honest, it's not worth putting this guy in your deck because he's not that powerful. But I suppose it's quite a cool card anyway. I mean, Now I'm going to be going over some of the little cards you can use with a deck or combined with a deck. So the first one is Dark Graver. So basically what this guy does is you can special summon him by discarding a level 5 or higher dark monster, and then once per turn you can discard 1 dark monster and then send 1 dark monster from your deck to the graveyard. So the cool thing is with this is if you discard some kind of, say you normal summon him, you don't use his effect to special summon or whatever, then you've got Jinzo in your hand, so you can discard the Jinzo by using his secondary effect here, and then from your deck, put the Jinzo, return it into your graveyard, and then you'll be able to special summon the Jinzo back, which is a pretty good little thing. And it's pretty good. I mean, if you somehow manage to summon another level 6 monster, or another Jinzo or something, you can go into some XYZ monsters. So these are just some. I'll show you. Probably Proton Strider Bouncer is the best one to go for, because not only is he very powerful, he has a cool little effect. So once per turn during either player's turn, when a monster's effect is activated on your opponent's side of the field, you can detach 1 XE material from this card to negate the effect, and if you do so, inflict 100,000 damage to your opponent. So it's kind of an effect monster that negates, XYZ like monster that negates effects and also inflicts a bit of damage as well, and requires 2 level 6 monsters. So if you ever manage to bring out 2 Jinzos somehow, or to another level 6, let's say, or something like that, I don't know, you could possibly, bring out some level 6 XYZ monster, or XC's monster, whatever you want to call them. If you're looking for another good level 6 monster to put in your deck, one of them is, I think it's this. Oh no, that's how you spell it. Horus the Black Flame Dragon level 6. And the reason I'm saying this is because it's level 6. You contribute a card to summon this, which is pretty good. And if you, I think it is, yeah, if you destroy the monster by battle this turn, you can send this to the graveyard to summon a Horus the Black Flame Dragon level 8 from your hand or deck. And what this Horus the Black Flame Dragon does, not only is he very powerful, he can negate spell cards. So here it says, during either player's turn, when a spell card is activated, you can negate the activation, and if do so, destroy it. So you must control no, it says you must control this face-up card to activate and resolve this effect. And it doesn't say how many times you can do it either. So I'm assuming you can actually do that more than once in one turn, which is pretty good. So that's a really good. These two probably the best combo to use with Jinzo, to be honest, because you've got the kind of spell negate thing. And also this card is unaffected by spells, just there. So that's quite good as well. So yeah, and plus it's level 6, so you may if you bring that out, maybe you've already got this on the field, or you can't use him because he's banished, or something like that. Or he's in your grave, got no chance of bringing him back. You could probably go for this or whatever else you want to go for here. But this guy's the best choice. They're all about the same attack around. So yeah. Next one I think I'll go for is Mechlord Emperor Weisel. Now this card is also pretty good. So basically, you can't normal summon or special summon in any way, but it must only be, it can only be special summoned by its own effect, virtually. When a monster you control is destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. Other monsters you control cannot declare an attack. Once per turn, you can target one synchro monster you controls, equip that target to this card. This card gains attack equal to the monster's combined attack. So it's good against synchros as well. Plus, it says here, once per turn, when your opponent spell card is activated, you can negate the activation and destroy it. So not bad at all, because it's quite easy to bring out. I mean, you might only put 1, maybe 2 in your deck, but it's going to be a good card. It's strong as well. You can see it's good against synchros. It can negate up to 1 spell card per turn, and it's quite easy to bring out. I mean, all you have to have is a card like, say, someone's Dark Hold your monster or something, or some Smash and Ground it, or something like that, or using effects. Use any kind of effect to destroy a monster. You can summon this guy automatically with that, with his effect. So it's really good. And then So that's a really good card to put in. Now the second one, which would be good if you were going to use a kind of Dark Grapher with Jinzo Returner kind of thing, is to add Call of the Haunted in as well, so you can bring back your Jinzos and stuff like that. It's just a cool card to use. Another LV card is Silent Swordsman level 7. So obviously you're going to have to use Silent Swordsman level 5, which I might as well show you. So you can see here, Silent Swordsman. And there's also Silent Swordsman level 3 as well. Sorry about that. So that's quite good as well. Because then his face up category with special summon. Also, that's during his standby phase, not bad. So it's quite easy to bring out Silent Swordsman level 5. But the only problem is you have to inflict battle damage in order to be able to summon Silent Swordsman level 7. Which is the only problem, and it says. But the only problem with this card is it negates all spells on the field, so it is better to go for Horus the Black Flame Dragon level 8. Or both of these even. Okay, so yeah, it's not bad again. It's not, probably wouldn't use it to be honest, but okay, so yeah, sorry about the cut there. Secret Village of Spellcasters. So I was on about this card. So you know, you can, with this card, basically if you have a spellcaster on the field, doesn't matter what spellcaster it is or anything, it negates, you know, your opponent can't activate any spell cards whatsoever until they destroy the spellcaster that's on the field. So it's a really good card, and it's a field spell, so you can use terraforming or anything like that to retrieve it from your deck, which is pretty good. The only problem, it looks like it costs quite a bit as well. Well, these are quite cheap here, but yeah, let's say if you want to go to spellcasters. If you wanted to still stick to machines, there's no machine card, but the only problem is it's level 5, so you'll have to tribute it, and all spell cards cannot be activated. So, and also the effects of spell cards are also negated. So virtually it applies to you as well, both players. And another card I thought I'd say, it may be a bit of a cost to tribute him. Tributing 3 monsters is quite a bit for some people. You know, if you don't have 3 monsters, but it negates the effects of all face or monsters your opponent controls. So that's quite good if you know, against your opponent, because they can't activate any card, any monster effects. So it's pretty good. It's not that strong, but I mean, it's another card to think about adding if you wanted to put it in your deck, So that's basically me talking about Jinzo and what cards you can use with it to make a kind of Jinzo lockdown deck or something to negate all traps and all spells and stuff like that. But yeah, overall he's a brilliant card. He's quite easy to get hold of actually. I